Welcome to TLC for the Soul podcast, where soul meets spirit. You have entered into sacred space. I'm your host, TAMI Chambers, and I'm here to help you shine. Now let's get going on this podcast journey. Hello, friends. Hello. And welcome to our April Energies Hangout, 4th month of April, 2023. Thank you so much for joining me here. Whether you're a returning friend of the TLC for the Soul community, or whether you're new to this space and this place, stick around and see if you like what you see, what you hear, how it vibes with you. Before we go any further, I want to just get us all into the juicy goodness of love light and light love, wrapping you in divine love, divine healing, divine light, and inviting in the spirit guides who overlight this show, Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, the Pleiadians, the energies of New Lemuria, and the Aloha Spirit. So things are upgrading within and around. This channel is taking a tour of the Hawaiian Islands this month, and I want to take you along with me as we bring more into our physical reality, the heaven on earth, the new Lemurian light codes that we've been talking about as a theme for 2023. And I feel that really ramping up and starting to come down more, like I said, into the physical this month. And I want to just, where do I want to start? They're like, just go, just jump in. So this is a hangout, first of all. So I want you to be cozy if you want to be cozy, or, maybe for this particular hangout, you go get something that reminds you or makes you think of a tropical island. It doesn't have to be Hawaii. You could have your own favorite tropical space or place. But right now, the Lemurian light codes emanating out from the Hawaiian Islands are very, very strong. And for those of us that are here on the planet to help balance out the new Atlantean energies, you're going to feel that pull towards the Hawaiian Islands over the next... How long? Over the next how long? I don't know. For some of you, it's just going to keep getting stronger and stronger. And for others, it could just kind of even out over time. So let's get cozy. Let's get a drink. I have my Fiji water. I know it's in a plastic bottle. It's the only thing that kills me about it, but we don't have any good water places around here. So I've had to have the Fiji water shipped in. So we can have some there's high vibe water everywhere, but some really good drinking water. Anyway, I don't want to go there. So what do I want to talk about today? This all started, and I want to show you. So here's where we're going to go with this show. We are going to just do a quick little intro of what's going on here. What are these energies that you can start to feel into them? Because as you're relaxing into this video or this audio, however you're partaking in this, you may feel these things wash over you too, right? And so I want to talk a little bit about the overarching energy for the month, what it is, what it's here for. We've got our new Lemurian crystal that we'll be working with. I want to show you the magical merch for this month and talk a little bit about the energies of the month as they're channeled in. And then I've got some cards that I want to just draw because I want to build on the message that I did in a April Energies card reading over on my Loveland Tarot channel. And if that's a YouTube channel only right now, so I can link to that in the YouTube video. And if you're listening on a podcast provider, if you want to pop over to Loveland Tarot on YouTube and watch that reading, you can. The links to everything I talk about and all my shows are always all in the show notes, so you can check them out there. But I started out with a high-level card reading for the April energies on that channel. And the overarching themes that came up for the month, in addition to Hawaii and the Aloha Spirit, which I'll get into in a second, but I also want to touch on the themes of busyness, self-sabotage, dreams, and dreams taking time to manifest or happen due to procrastination, and honoring past commitments. So those were all themes for the month. And the Lemurian light codes really started ramping up maybe 3 or 4 days ago for me. So I'm recording this on April the 1st, Saturday, April the 1st. And the other day I was just sitting around, I'm like, I need a Hawaii day, because I was just like kind of over the winter already, and there's more snow predicted here for next week. I was like, my goodness, there's like 13 inches of snow predicted for next week. Even though the temperatures are rising, I think it's going to be in the low 30s today, and I see 40 degrees hot for highs coming up in the temperatures. But I was just like, I need a Hawaii day. I have to have it. And so the whole day I'm like, I'm going to have a Grand Wailea day, which is a resort in Maui. I think it's in Maui. Is it in Maui? I don't know. I get my resorts mixed up. But anyway, it's in Hawaii. And I dressed in Hawaiians like clothes, look, and I said, I put on like my bathing suit underneath my clothes. I'm like, I'm gonna have my swimsuit. It wasn't like a bathing suit underneath. I'm like, I'm wearing a cover up. I have a swimsuit on. I'm doing a staycation, and I was pretending like the whole day like I was at a resort hotel in Hawaii, and I watched. I think I've mentioned them before. I really like the Hawaiian Vacation Guide on YouTube. It's a family, like a husband and wife and 2 kids. They're definitely divine counterparts. It's so obvious when you watch their videos, but they take their whole family and they live in Maui now. And they've lived in the other islands before, and they do like best places to stay and best things to do. And they have all these itineraries for if you're going to travel to Hawaii. So definitely something to take a look at if you are planning a trip there. Something to, it looks like they have so much fun. It's like, I would want to follow their itineraries if I was going there. Well, not if, when I go there. It's not an if, because I am going back. And so that was like the best day I had in such a long, I always have good days, but in such a long time, it was just such a high vibe day. My meditation was stronger. The light codes coming in felt exponentially bigger when I anchored in through the Hawaiian Islands, and kind of just envisioned myself sitting on top of the islands etherically, and just pulling up the strength of the Aloha Spirit. It's such an activation for me. It's such a power place. So I don't know for you all if that's the same thing, but if not, you should definitely try it. If it's not your power place and you're typically anchored in somewhere else, even in your physical reality. So my physical reality, I'm anchored in the upper part of the United States in the Midwest, in North Dakota, and I'm holding the grid lines, and I'm not the only one, but helping hold the grid lines between Niagara Falls and Banff. I could personally not really care about Niagara Falls and Banff. They look very beautiful. Maybe I will go there one day. That hotel in Banff looks very beautiful, but at the same time, etherically, I am like triangulating in a sense between those 3 places, like Hawaii, Banff, Niagara Falls, and there's something with the triangulation of like the ley lines there that is important when you're doing your bringers of the light work, or just when you kind of fall into an awareness, like pull yourself out of your everyday reality and think, where am I located, Spirit? When you're feeling like down about your day or whatever, and you're kind of like, what am I here to do again? And sometimes, remember, we say you're just here to just be, because you're already, your soul signature, your vibe and all that is already helping uplift all the grid lines of Gaia, so that as we raise in consciousness, Gaia raises in consciousness, and you're needed in a certain spot to help hold a certain energy signature in a certain place. Like our little, one of our soul sisters called us, like, we're acupuncture points on Gaia, right? And so ask your guides, like, what am I triangulating? What I'm anchoring in, and I'm here to help hold the grid lines between what areas. And you may be very surprised to find, for the longest time, I was in the southern United States, and I was holding space between the Rocococo, like the Gulf of Mexico. There's some pyramids and stuff out off of Galveston Island, but there was some Atlantean ley lines that I was helping hold between like that Gulf of Mexico and Sedona and Hawaii, and then sometimes up over on the Archangel Michael ley line over in the Glastonbury area. And I never realized, am I tangenting? They're like, no, you're fine. I never realized, so I was born right outside of London, England, in a place that's not there. It was an Air Force base, it's not there anymore. But when I looked it up, it was like less than 100 miles between there and Glastonbury tour. And I was like, oh, that was so cool. So, you know how many of us here are, you know, Avalon sisters and brothers and all of that, and Glastonbury and the tour and all that, and the Rococo, the Mists of Avalon, and the whole Camelot timelines and all that kind of play into the Arthurian legend. That's not, they're not legends, but the Arthurian timelines kind of play into that too. So I thought it was kind of cool. So those may be some of the areas that you're working with, or it could be something totally different that I'm hearing like Easter Island, like somebody here has got really strong ties to Easter Island, the Galapagos, the Galapagos. If you're new here and you hear me doing all that, it's just I get big chills when Spirit's like kind of tapping me like, yeah, you're on the right track with the energy that you're getting. It's my confirmation from Spirit that what I'm saying is like, yeah, a big like exclamation point. So Galapagos, what else? Greenland, Iceland. You guys check in and see. It could be kind of fun. And then to kind of play in your meditations or in your shamanic journeys or whatever you do, to tap into the spirits of those lands and of those places. Because if you are here to support them etherically, then they are they're most likely your power points, and they can yeah, this is going somewhere. It is where I'm expecting, but they're your power points. And so they will help you draw up more chi, more life force energy from, it's reciprocal, right? Your soul signature is helping to hold those grid lines. And at the same time, Gaia and those grid lines are supporting you. So when I sit etherically over the Hawaiian Islands, my aura and my light, they're giving me those weird words again. I don't even think quotidian is a word, quotient or whatever. Like my light exponentially expands. And it was very palpable on that day when I was just suddenly like guided to just like sit on a white cloud over the Hawaiian Islands. And then when I went to send energy back to Gaia, because those meditations are reciprocal, the golden light that was coming out of me was just like a huge, ginormous ball. And I was like, wow, it feels so much more powerful like this. So you may try that in your meditations, I don't know how you guys do your grid work, but you know, it's whatever works for you, but try that. Try to tap into your power space, wherever that is. And it's different than your power space on the land that you live in. It's like multi-dimensional, right? So the land that you live on is very powerful as well. But this is something that totally takes it to a whole other level, because it's a reciprocal power between you and Gaia. And so I don't know, you just have to try it to kind of understand what I'm talking about. So I've been using that in my meditations now. And for a while I was like, am I good enough to sit on the top of the Hawaiian Islands and do this? You know, because Man, if I had a choice, I would definitely go live over there for sure. And it was like, of course you're going to have to do that. I don't know. It's like this weird worthiness thing came up when it's like, am I worthy to live on the Hawaiian Islands and support Hawaii? It was this very strange thing came up. And I was like, of course I am. Why not me? Why not? So that maybe that's coming up for some of you too. Like when you find your place in your space, like when Spirit says, oh, you're supporting these areas, you may have a little twinge of like, oh, that's a little bit too good for me or something. I don't know. Something weird may come up there. So in the midst of all of that on that day, I got very motivated to, at first I was sitting there and I'm like, we're not going to have I guess we're not going to have merch for April because I didn't have anything in mind. And then Spirit's like, are you sure about that? I'm like, why? And then I just sat there for a minute and I was like, oh my gosh, I got the best to me. I love it. If nobody else loves it, I love it. My goodness me. All right, so this is our merch for March. This is our design for March, the Aloha Spirit. This is in the Redbubble shop now. If you're listening, you can't obviously see what I'm showing, but you can check out the link to the Redbubble shop. I just saw mirrored energy 1551 on the timer. If 155 or 1515 is some power number for you, you might want to check that out. But this design came forward. It's on a lot in the Redbubble shop because when I put it on there, I loved the way it looked on shirts and I loved the way it looked on cups or water bottles or whatever. It looks so beautiful on the throw pillows. It looks amazing on the little stickers and magnets and pins and the artwork and all of that. So, you can check that out. But Aloha Spirit is our theme of the month. I do have a guide that we will be working with. This month, we're going to do a show on Huna magic, and we're going to bring in all of my friends from the islands. And our Lemurian light codes, will be transmitting some Lemurian light codes, which we may do here too as well. This is a big month, and on the because it's balanced out, right? So you're going to have all this like juicy high vibe goodness from the Aloha Spirit. And then we still have to work with the themes coming through of the busyness, the self-sabotage, the feelings of possible frustration about dreams taking time to happen or manifest due to procrastination, and honoring past commitments. So let me just go into, I don't want to go right away. I want to go back to the themes for the year because we're starting a new quarter of April, May, and June. So when we worked at the beginning of the year on the 2023 energies, we did a show on that. I'll link it. If you're on the podcast, you can scroll back a little bit. It's not that far long ago to the 2023 show. If you want to see that show, you can look at it on YouTube. There's a playlist for 2023 on the TLC for the Soul YouTube channel. But April, May, and June is a whole new quarter starting. So our overarching theme for the beginning of the year, at the beginning of the year, for the year, was the Garden of Eden Reborn, New Lemuria. The song of the year was Space Station number 5. And the song that was channeled for us for April, May, and June is The Window by Steve Miller Band. I'm not going to go pull the lyrics again, but it really was a song about oneness, and could be about the Aloha Spirit and unity consciousness and Christ consciousness. For April, we did a whole show, a 2023 month by month card reading. For April, we got the overarching themes that came out in the cards in that show for April. And this is what we dove deeper into in the April card reading that I just did on Loveland Tarot. But it was, the overarching themes were Love Spell, Get Over It, which was tied to the Three of Swords energy, Resurrection Codes, and Spanner in the Works. And I really dove deep into the Spanner in the Works because that was channeled in, like in January, we got, oh, here's a ladybug. Oh, there's a little ladybug crawling by. It's going to come over by my cards. So it all sounds really good for April until we got to Spanner in the Works. And I was like, Spanner in the Works is kind of like a UK term for like a wrench in the plans. And when we dove deeper into the whole wrench in the plans thing, that's when we got into these themes of self-sabotage, dreams taking time to happen, manifest due to procrastination, and honoring past commitments. And so I thought we would take that a little bit further this month, right now. I want to look at April. So April, it's kind of a messy little month. We've got this full moon in Libra coming up here, the 5th and the 6th, depending on where you reside. And then there's Easter weekend. There's going to be a lot of heightened guidance that week of Easter, the week of the 9th. And then we go into Mercury retrograde shadow starting on April the 7th, and it goes all the way until, is that right? May 31st? That doesn't sound right. No, I don't think that's right. Oh, May. Yes. Mercury retrograde begins April 21st and ends May 14th, and the end of the shadow period is May 31st. I'm already jumping ahead into May. And then on the 20th, we have that hybrid new moon eclipse at 29 degrees Aries, which is supposed to be a hybrid eclipse. It's supposed to be very, very rare, like a once every 100 and something years. And so there could be a lot going on that last week and a half of the month. So it's very busy in terms of the energies, which is, I think, where the busyness comes out. The energies, the astrology is very busy. And I think you as well are going to be very busy because it's just that time of year. In the Northern Hemisphere, we just had the equinox. We're coming up on Beltane on the 1st of May. This is where the frustration could start coming in about things not manifesting fast enough because you're sitting there going, holy smokes, it's already April. April to me feels like it's just going to be gone just like that, like the snap of a finger. It's going to be gone because your days are just going to be like going. The Energizer Bunny came out as a little totem for the card reading that I did. And I think the frustration energy, the procrastination and the self-sabotage were playing heavily into the cards. So let's go ahead here for us. I want to draw some overarching just to continue to play on that theme in case you don't go watch that other one, or in case, whatever, in case there's other messages to share. Even if you did watch it, there could be other messages. I have messages for the divine masculine, the divine feminine, and whatever else. And then I think we'll bring in some of those Lemurian light codes. So let's use my deck. I said Happy Cloud, but I have so many decks now. My gosh. I'm working on another deck. It's supposed to be out. Is it next month? Oh, my schedule is downstairs, but I think it's next month. I'm working on a new book for Bringers of the Light. It's supposed to be out in June. Those are keeping commitments. That's the thing too. That's why this schedule thing just came up before I draw any cards. Stick to and honor what you have set forward for yourself. So right around the spring equinox time was a big time between January and March, a big time of setting intentions for the year. Things you really wanted to do, things you really wanted to manifest. And right about this time in April, the busyness is like, okay, well, let's get going on those things. You've got work to do. You better get going. Don't let yourself slip, even if you skip a day on certain things. Don't let yourself slip too many days because then it's harder to get back in that groove again. And I keep talking about writing a book, and I keep saying I'm going to publish a book, and I keep not doing it because I keep just letting it slide. And so I made this firm commitment with myself that every day I was going to write, even if I was going to just write a freaking sentence, I was going to write something. It's not that dang hard, right? I just have to sit down and channel the freaking chapter. I say that you guys are probably like, she says that all the time. So I said in June, I'm going to publish a book. So I am working on a new book for the Bringers of Light. I don't want to talk too much about it because I think that spoils the creational magic for me a little bit when I kind of put it out there too early. But I am working, and I do hope to publish that in June. And the deck I'm working on for next month, and I'm sure that'll be out because I'm already more than halfway done with that deck. But that is Force of the Wolf. So Force of the Wolf Oracle. So we've been doing a lot of Wolfpack Reiki over on my Instagram, and we bring it in here too. And I don't know how that plays into it, but anyway, let's just see what Spring Fling. Oh, because I couldn't remember how many decks I had. This is my deck, Spring Fling. This is my 9th deck, I think, or 10th deck, and then so the next one will be the 11th. But let's see what Spring Fling has to say about April. All right, we had some cards fall out. Oh, this card. This moon card keeps following. The moon card has been following me around from different decks for the past 3 or 4 days. And I am recording this. The full moon is next week. Wednesday and Thursday, the full moon in Libra. But man, that full moon energy has been really strong the beginning of the month. Really bringing up things. You know, the full moon, it just amplifies, right? It amplifies. Pay attention to what's being shown to you, because somehow this moon energy, this is a full moon in Libra. This is about balancing things. This is about relationships and commitments and partnerships. Okay, give me another card with this moon card. Okay, we got... These are some of the cards that came out in the other reading. It's that time. It's the time of year. Trust your timing, which is all about divine timing. Temperance. This is all about balance, finding balance. And no need for perfect. Progress, not perfection. I don't think any of these cards are new. I swear we just pulled many of these the last time we met together, you guys. It's about getting, the busyness is going to come. The frustration over things not happening fast enough is just divine timing at work in your life. You just are going to have to just trust it, even if sometimes this moon card is about illusions, even if your current reality looks nothing like the reality you picture. So on the Grand Wailea play day, you know, obviously my current reality is 3 or 4 feet of snow on the ground. It was, I don't know, it's still cold, but it was 20 something degrees outside. And I just kind of like balanced my day between like, okay, I still need to get my priorities done. I still need to write that chapter and take my dog outside and, you know, live my grounded 3D life. I've got stuff I got to do every day. But any little moment that I had to kind of like play the Grand Wailea away, I was like there. So that's where this balance is coming in. Trust the timing of your life, you know, trust that what you see right now in front of you may not, change is always happening. It's not, this current reality is not always going to be your reality. It's up to you to make it, it's up to you to make it manifest for yourself. So no need for perfect, progress, not perfection. So I sit down every day and I write a little chapter and I, you know, edit it and I put it in the manuscript. And some days I show up and I get things done, and maybe it's not perfect in my eyes, but at least I'm ticking things off the list. But if I sit and I think about things not being exactly the way they're meant to be, then I will get caught up in the self-sabotage. It has to do with your energy levels too. This illusion energy of things not being the way you want them to be. If you get caught up in that a lot, it's going to pull your energy down, and your whole motivation level and everything is just going to go woo. And you're not going to be motivated to do anything at all. And there'll be many reasons why. You'll just come up with these reasons like, oh, I can't do this because of that. I can't do this because of that. And it's like, if you fall into that little mind trap, then yeah, you probably won't get a lot of stuff done. That'll be the self-sabotage and the procrastination. But if you can use your power spot as a source of energy, and we did some work in that card reading on Loveland Tarot of some solar plexus healing with using a chi ball So we may do something similar like that here. Let's see with Happy Cloud if there's anything else. This is also my deck. Anything else Happy Cloud wants to say? Safety. Time to tighten those boundaries. That's the thing. If you're not a little firm with yourself, because I had a conversation with someone the other day. I'm like, no one's coming to save you. You're going to have to save yourself. No one's going to come pick up your energy vibe but you. No one's going to follow that schedule. You know, no one's going to, especially if yourself, if somebody else, if you're employed by somebody else, then you're kind of held to a standard of like, you got to get stuff done. But if you're your own entrepreneur, and you made your own schedule, like nobody's going to sit there and say, look, so-and-so, how come you're not done with this? You're going to have to rein it in and make some checkpoints for yourself and make sure you're getting things done so that you can move forward. All right. They're saying that's all for that. All right. So let's get a couple of cards for the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine. So this is a Midnight City Tarot. I'm going to draw this for the Feminine. I have a new deck for the Divine Masculine because I want the Divine Masculine to feel like it's not all pink and purple on this channel. Give y'all a little bit of honor y'all's Divine Masculine essence. Oh, see, this is it. Oh my God. For the Divine Feminine, this is the Four of Swords. So it's kind of hard in the card to see what's going on. So guys, I do like to read from the book for this deck. So this Four of Swords, so this is your message for the month. Divine Feminine. The location is Midtown Manhattan. The vibe is exhaustion, overwork, and avoidance. The art is a pile of work, and these four swords weigh down on you. They are heavy on your mind. There are emails piling up, messages beeping loudly, and so many tasks to finish. You quietly plug away. It's dark in the office because everyone else has gone home and the motion detecting lights have shut off. You're alone, working diligently. Maybe this laser focus on work is an attempt to avoid other problems. So for some of you, the advice is rest is needed. Taking a day off would be ideal, or even a walk around the block. If that is not practical, perhaps you can listen to some soothing sounds while you work. Any little comforting thing that can give your mind a break and bring you some peace will be helpful. So Divine Feminine and the Divine Feminine side, I think this is where the Temperance card comes in too, because I bet you the Divine Masculine card is going to be all about busyness and getting things done. And so to temper that, you're going to have to really balance your energy. And I find for me now that comes like a day, well, it comes throughout the day too, but there's days where I'll have a really busy day, and then the next day I'll need not the whole day, but I'll need a good chunk of that day to have a less active day and a more maybe visionary type day is what I would call it. So I got a new deck for the Divine Masculine. I'm going to show you all the box. So it's the Runic Tarot. It has a little bit of a darkness about it, but it has a lot of light in this deck too. So I really fell in love with it. My little witchy vibes fell in love with it. So I'm going to draw, just got this yesterday. I'm going to draw a card from this deck for the Divine Masculine for the month of April. The only thing I wish about this deck was that it was a little bit larger, the cards, because there's some amazing things happening in the background of these cards, of these images. That's really hard to see without a magnifying glass. It's like, what? Oh, okay. So the Divine is this one card? The Divine Masculine got the Six of Swords. So there you are on your, I won't know all the Norse words for things, so you'll have to forgive me there. I guess this deck will help me learn a little bit more about the Norse mythology, which I think a lot of us on this channel have been wanting to tap into a little bit more. But you're going to a new horizon, and it looks like it's coming out of the darkness into the light. I mean, the sun on this card is very brilliant, very bright, and the gray clouds that are kind of over your head as you're on this barge are parting as the sun, I'm going to say it's the sunrise, but as the sun comes up. And there's all sorts of runes on these swords. The Six of Swords, moving away from darker energy into the light. I think for the Divine Masculine, this has a lot to do with the resurrection codes that showed up. Is that about busyness? Not really, but the Divine Masculine has got some ascension stuff going on. So it could be the Divine Masculine side of you, Divine Feminine, getting upgraded, and the Divine Masculine as a person getting an upgrade too with the resurrection codes. Coming out of the darkness into the light. Let's get a clarifier for that. I'm going to use Happy Cloud one more time. Just want to see what else it has to say. And man, even though it's supposed to be warm out today, I have my window cracked slightly and this room is freezing. Okay, so for the Divine Masculine, oh, you got a lot of cards from Happy Cloud. The Divine Masculine lately, I don't know. You've been getting a lot of cards. Every time I draw cards for the masculine, I get a lot. You got island time. Come on, that's like Hawaii. That's like, you need to slow down. Well, that's the message for the masculine and the feminine. Island time, you need to slow down. Forever, this love is special. When I get this card, it's more about self-love than anything else. But there could be some divine counterpart thing going on in there too. Some forever love, some the one. And you rock, take a bow. So what came up for April 2, I think it's like tax time in the US, right? Isn't it April 15th or something? So maybe you guys are like busy filing your taxes and getting all this paperwork. Right when you do your taxes, you have to have like all this paperwork and all the receipts and all this stuff. I don't know. It's been a long time since I had to mess with that, but I used to do all my own stuff, but you could be really busy because, right, this looks like your mounds of paperwork, Divine Feminine. So maybe some of you who file, what is it, like the itemized returns for the IRS. I know not everybody listens from the United States, but I'm sure tax work anywhere is just tedious and boring now. So you could be dealing with that. That could be where a lot of business comes up. And you just needing to feel like you need to get away from it all. So that could be for the Divine Masculine to this barge, like just get me out from under all of this, like all of my itemized deductions and stuff that I have to mess with, all the busy work, and let me just move on to greener pastures. And this did come up. No, this came up in a Divine Masculine reading I did the other day. I almost want to take it down because I got like a little too flirty. But it was like the Divine Masculine feeling the need to like take a vacation, take a break. And this island time came up very strongly. And it was kind of like some of our Divine Masculines maybe wanting to take a quick getaway to like a tropical island or somewhere that just doesn't feel so heavy, and take some time off. This you rock and take a bow. And I think in that reading, I was a little bit like, let me know what you're doing. Kind of weirdness. So, all right, let me just check in. All right, so now they want me to deliver these Lemurian light codes. My throat, I guess that's why I need to do this. My throat feels very weird. So let's do this light language. This is probably why. It just feels like something is like jamming my throat, like right here in the middle. So let's get ready. So overall, it's a busy month. You're going to have to keep your commitments to yourself, or commitments in this case to other entities, like your taxes have to get done or else you have to file an extension and all that. Work has to get done. Otherwise, you just keep extending out timelines, and then I think you start to lose confidence too. So if you kind of like don't hold on to those agreements with yourself. And so there's this balance this month of staying busy, honoring your commitments to yourself or to others, whatever those things are, taking time out for you, so that you can balance your energy out. So we've got this Angel Aura Lemurian quartz crystal. We're going to do some new Lemurian light codes to help lighten the vibe. This is an upgrade. This is a DNA upgrade, they're saying, to for both the masculine and the feminine. Take a deep breath. Just feel into your heart space. Imagine something, somewhere, someone you really want to see or go to or spend time with, or a place you really want to visit. Deep in your heart, allow the feeling of what it would feel like to be in that space, in that place, or be with that person. And just hold that loving energy in your heart space and take a deep breath and lift that loving energy. Lift it up to your crown. See this golden light activating your crown center, your crown opening up from the love within your heart, opens up the divine love within your crown. And just mentally or verbally, just affirm that you're open to receive these codes of awakening, these new Lemurian light codes. They're saying that's all. I feel like you should ground a little bit. That's it. Wow. Okay. Very interesting. Let's just send a little bit of good vibes. Just send and use this crystal, this angel or Lemurian, whatever additional light codes are needed by you at this time, coming out through the knowledge of the crystal. Take a deep breath. All right, let me just see if there's anything else you want me to talk about. Want me to draw one final card. Which one from this Midnight City deck? A final message for everyone. Oh gosh, I've been wanting to read about this card. This is the Five of Wands. It's a bunch of dogs like barking. And like everybody's walking their dog. There's like this taxi in the background. There's like all this trash. Let's just see. This is our final card. What do you guys want to say after all those light codes came through? Location is a city street corner. The vibe, arguing, disagreement, dust up. I don't know what that means. Scuffle and scattered energy. The art is on the corner. A group of dogs are barking at one another and getting completely tangled. People nearby are annoyed as they pretend to ignore all this commotion. It's a frustrating situation, and you kind of just want it to stop. You notice the trash bags in the background and take this as a sign. Just as the trash will eventually get picked up, this unpleasant situation is only temporary and will soon come to an end. And the advice is know that this scuffle, though uncomfortable, is fleeting. These cards are making me laugh. So, yeah, enough said, I guess. Like, whatever it is that's happening this month, it sounds like it's just this busyness that you don't want to attend to. Or maybe you do want to attend to it, but it just feels like you're all tangled. Because what is this? Wands? There's a lot of stuff going on, right? Wands. And so it's tangle of wands, this busyness energy, all this stuff going on. Maybe some stuff you don't want to do. That's this too shall pass. All right, guys. I want to thank you all so much for joining me here. We were going to have more fun this month with some Huna magic, some additional stuff going on. So if you love the Aloha Spirit Design, go check that out at Redbubble Shop. Next time I want to order a shirt. I always like procrastinate and don't order the merch, and then it's kind of too late. We will see you all again soon. Take care.